Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are taking our very first look at the Asashio, the Tier 6 Premium Destroyer. So let's get down to our commander. As always, we're using Raizo Tanaka, we're running Jerzy Swirsky and Eric Bay. Now everybody always asks me, where do you get Jerzy Swirsky? It's simple, you have to buy the Błyskawica. It's Polish Lightning is what it's, well, translated it turns into the Lightning, but it's the Polish Lightning. It's a Polish ship. There's only one Polish ship in the game, one Polish commander in the game. You buy the Polish ship, you get the Polish commander. And you got to keep an eye out for sales. I have no idea when it's going to come back. Just got that out of the way. All right, so we're going to be using Subsurface Venture, Fragile Threat, Torpedo Safari, and Destroy or Be Destroyed. And of course, we're running Unstoppable as our legendary perk. Now, if we look at what we got for our loadout, we are running the Aiming Systems Mod 1, we are running Propulsion Mod 2, and we are running Concealment System Mod. For our camo, it's the premium camo that comes with the ship. We're running the community contributor flags. We are not running any boosters, and as you can see, we get smoke, the engine boost, and a torpedo reload booster, but you only get one of these. Alright, survivability, 13,590 hit points. You also have 6 127mm main guns, 9.7 kilometer firing range with an 8.8 second reload time. 180 degree time is abysmal at 30 seconds. HE shell damage is 1800, chance to set fire 7%, and AP shell damage of 2200. Torpedoes. 610mm quadruple launchers, so you've got 2 quadruple launchers, and they reload in 88.9 seconds. 180 degree turn time is 6 seconds for them. Maximum damage is 18,052. Torpedo detectability range by sea is 1.6 kilometers. They are not particularly sneaky torps. Torpedo range is 11.6 kilometers, so you can reach out and touch people. Torpedo speed 66 knots, so not slow but not fast, so kind of right there in the middle. Maneuverability 37.1 knot top speed without the engine boost running. Turning circle is 640 meters. Rudder shift time is 3.6 seconds. Concealment, amazing as all Japanese destroyers are, pretty much. 4.6 kilometers by sea, 2.5 guaranteed, or 2.5 by air, 2 guaranteed, and 2.5 detectability while firing in smoke. Alright, so let's look at the armor real quick. Well, as you can see, you got 19 millimeters of armor pretty much everywhere. And then if you take this off, if you're in a gunfight with these things, this is where you want to hit. A lot of people try to hit the front of the ship because it sticks out the furthest, and that does the least amount of damage, because you're not going to get as much damage out of that as you would if you hit the center of the ship. Just keep that in mind when you're in a gun battle in a destroyer. That's why this is so important, because you can inflict damage on the vital part armor that they're talking about, because it's such thin armor. So HE just decimates it, but you want to hit center of the ship. Don't be shooting the bows unless you absolutely have to, because you'll oversaturate the bow and you won't do as much damage overall. Now, hidden. Good concealment means the ship can get closer to enemies before being detected. Stealthy. Good torpedo concealment. Not really. 1.6 kilometers is not good. That's average at best. Generally speaking, you want your torps to be down in that 1.2 to 1.3 range. Any chance to avoid extra reaction time by the torpedoes is a plus. Big yield. Above average torpedo damage. Japanese destroyer Asashio was the ultimate ship of this type in Japan. Built after the launch of the Fubuki-class ships, the absence of constraints on displacement allowed naval architects to find a good balance between speed, armament, and hull size. Due to a good overall layout, Asashio served as a prototype for the majority of subsequent Japanese destroyers. She entered service in 1937, and there were 10 of them in the series. So let's take a look at her. She's a good-looking ship, I'll give her that. Even the camo. I'm not a huge fan of the camo. It's a little bit weird at the back. Not sure why it's got the pimples or goose pimples, or if that's supposed to be like an octopus arm reaching around the back of the ship. Maybe. I don't know. Somebody maybe more up on the Japanese camos could let me know. But anyway, let's get to the gameplay. Alrighty, so we are going to be on Crash Zone, and I'll be real honest, I'm not a big fan of this ship. I'm just going to tell you that right off the get-go. I believe, and you can slaughter me if you want, but I say the Akatsuki in every shape is better than this thing. Literally, in every facet, the Akatsuki is better than this ship. It's faster, it's got the same detection, it gets 9 torpedoes on triple launchers rather than quadruple launchers, so that means the torps reload faster. Instead of 88 seconds, it's 66 seconds. They reach the same distance, they hit just as hard, and the guns reload faster, and the guns also turn faster. These guns turn horrendously. Like, the guns are absolutely dog crap in a DD fight. Against battleships and cruisers, not so big a deal, but against other DDs, these guns suck. Just due to the fact that every time you try to wiggle your ship, you're moving your guns every time because they can't keep up with your ship. And that is supported by, like, the stats of the two ships. If you look at the stats of the Akatsuki, or Akatsuki, if that's what you want to call it, but it is pronounced Akatsuki. This is one of the few that I do know. But if you look at the Akatsuki and you take and look at the stats of this thing, the Akatsuki wins in almost every single category. There's very few places where this wins. The biggest advantage of this thing is the fact that you get a torp reload booster. And at the end of the day, that torp reload booster is only as good as the person that's popping it. Now, I will say this. This is the one thing that I hate about this ship. These quad launchers suck for the torpedoes. They suck. The narrow spread on this thing is like a wide spread on anything else. And you'll see what I mean. Even at, like, mid-range, these things are leaving massive gaps in between the torpedoes, which is why towards the end of this fight, you're going to see me start trying to stagger my torpedoes, trying to get those torps to fit in each other's gaps. Because I'm not joking, even at medium range, let's not even start talking about the long range once they get out to 11 kilometers, but even at like 6 to 8 kilometers, these torps are spreading out way too much. It's absolutely abysmal if you're trying to get multiple torpedo hits. It's good for, like, launching into a gap, but when you're literally at 8 kilometers getting battleship-sized gaps in your torpedoes, it really gets very difficult to hit things. I had a lot of high aspirations for this ship. I really looked forward to getting into it, but after a few battles in it, I'm just not a fan. I'll take an Akatsuki over this. I'll take the Shiratsuyu over this. I will take the, any other Japanese destroyer over this at Tier 6. But I'm just not a big fan of this one in particular. Now, that being said, it's still a Japanese destroyer. It still packs a wallop when you do hit those torpedoes. It's got the most fantastic HE in the game as far as being able to shoot things, set fires, and do a lot of damage because of the HE penetration. But, as I said already, the guns don't cycle as fast as the Akatsukis, so it's not a huge difference in reload. I believe Akatsuki with this build is 8.3, and with this, it's 8.6 seconds per shot. So it's not a huge difference there, but the huge difference is in the turning ability of the torpedoes. Now, we do manage to catch the Belfast right off the bat with a torpedo. Huge. Absolutely huge to hit him that early in the game. That's going to ruin his game for the rest of the game. So he immediately pops smoke, which is actually a terrible idea at this point because there's no one really for him to shoot at the moment. I was expecting to be radared at any moment because Belfast, it has radar. But I don't actually get radar. Now, we do get the Ishmael there on the second one. That was, of course, our torp reload booster. But you can see we only got one hit. We've hit the Belfast, we've hit the Ishmael. That's it. 2 hits, 2 floods, and we're up to 31,000 damage. And I will be real honest, I actually end up playing this game far too passively. I was relying on my team to do things, and we all know that you just can't. Especially as a destroyer player, it is my job to go out and try to capture bases, and I'll be real, I just fumbled it. I fumbled this game. I threw this game away. So, you guys know that I have no trouble talking about when other people screw up. I don't have any trouble speaking about when I screw up either, and I admit it freely. I'm not the best player in the world, never claimed to be, and I always claim to be, average to below average in a destroyer. I'm not a good destroyer player. However, That being said, you can see we got a much better stagger this time. Like you can see where I'm trying to fit those torpedoes in each other's gaps so that by the time they spread out, it's less likely that we miss him. Because this Ishmael's just kind of sitting here, absolutely begging for it. Now, unfortunately, our Synop comes around the corner and does what any battleship should do when he gets a Ishmael broadside. He absolutely mops the floor with him. We do manage to squeeze somehow right between those two torpedoes. I don't know. Like I said, battleship-sized gaps at 8 kilometers. It's insane. I don't understand how I can miss torpedoes from this close. Even staggered them. I'm doing everything I can. Now you can see I've got Belfast spotted. His smoke has run out. He's in the middle of nowhere. He should be everybody's primary target at this point. Get a radar cruiser who's broadside to everybody. He can't really run away. He's backing up. I would love to start shooting him, but he would immediately obliterate me. It's just not something you do, okay? I know what I can win a gunfight against, and I know what I can't win a gunfight against. And right now, I will be honest, the two people that I am up against in destroyers are both gunboats. You got the Leningrad, and you have the Benson, I believe. Both of them should be able to absolutely mop the floor with me in a gunfight. And it's not even close. Like, the two ships should not even have any trouble wiping me off the planet. Which is why I've been kind of passive in this one. And this is why I say I was too passive. Right here, they're still in the base contesting me because of the Belfast. But they are about to actually finish the Belfast, I believe. He's got very little health left. And he's getting pounded. They're trying to set him on fire. Now, we launched torpedoes at the Gneisno, who's charging in towards our battleships and our cruisers that are hiding behind the island behind me. And so the goal here is to capture this base as soon as that Belfast dies, who just died. He burned to death, it looks like. So we get to capture this base, and then we can move out from there. Unfortunately, it just took too long. And the enemy is flipping another cap, so even if I do get this cap, we're 2 caps down. We do get a good torpedo strike on this Gneisno, getting 3 hits, 2 floods, and he's going to damage con that right away. And we're going to take this opportunity to try to burn him down. We haven't used our smoke screen yet, so because he's being spotted by my team at the moment, I should be able to smoke up and start raining HE on him. And we get a really good automatic fire, and that's gonna stick because he just damage con the floods. So we know that one's gonna stick. And I'm trying desperately to get a second fire, but it seems like every time I adjust my aim, I'm not actually adjusting my aim because they seem to go straight towards the center of the ship every time, even though I'm trying to aim a little further forward. I think he's turning towards us, which is causing me some issues with my aim. But we never end up getting that second fire, and that costs us on this particular ship. And probably costs us this game. Now, what you guys are probably thinking right now, what do you mean, cost you the game? Like, I'm not joking. Like, if I had killed this man right here with this fire, if I could have gotten a second fire, if I could have gotten a few more shots out, maybe done a little bit more damage, we could have potentially pulled this one out. Just because the enemies that are left are potatoes. You'll see what I mean. Now, we see the Fuso out there. We're going to go ahead, launch one at him and launch one at the Leningrad. Leningrad immediately smokes up. And then I notice he has no health. I'm trying to get the guns on him. I'm looking at him. I'm like, come on. But you can see how freaking annoying these guns are. They just refuse to rotate. It's horrendous. So that's what I mean when I say that in a gunfight, they're just absolutely dog crap. I hate these turrets. They are the worst turrets ever. 30 seconds on a destroyer. That's insane. They're only 127mm double turrets. They've been put on every freaking ship up to this point on the Japanese line from tier 5 up. But, you know, can't get those turrets to rotate yet, Japanese. Unfortunately. But we also miss the Fuso, but we hit the Leningrad with a torpedo while he was sitting in a smokescreen. So that works. That's one less gunboat that I got to worry about, though. As soon as I would have gotten my guns on him, he'd have been dead anyway. I'm now trying to think about going after this Fuso. And he's going to do something that is baffling / absolutely ridiculous. I am detected, and he is going to turn towards me. Not away from me. Towards me. Now, I'm assuming he did so because he wanted to get his guns to bear. And I'm going to tactically beach, as Hivehound would say. And we are going to launch our torpedoes and try to make sure that we don't miss this. He's at 3 kilometers. Not even this ship can miss a battleship at 3 kilometers. Right? Right? Don't prove me wrong. We get the fire on the Fuso, but it doesn't matter. We do manage to take him down with the shot right into the bow with the torpedo. Now, I know that the enemy Benson is closing in, and I'm not looking forward to this gunfight. However, I'm still full health, and he's not, which is going to give me a chance. It's not a big chance, but it is a chance. And so I'm going to come over here and try to engage him, hoping that he's alone. I'm really hoping he's alone. And sure enough, Gneisno comes around the corner with him. It's unfortunate. Really, really is. We get a shot out on the Gneisno, immediate fire. Like, the RNG on that was fantastic. Gneisno gets a nice hit on me. Benson getting some more hits on me. You can see I'm turning away. And then I'm going to try to wiggle a little bit. We're aiming at the Gneisno again, trying to get a second fire. We don't manage to get it, but we get about 1,100 damage. Benson comes around the corner, and at this point, it's a dogfight. You've got 2 destroyers engaged in open gun battles. It's just whoever aims better wins and decides to actually hit the target. And you can see I'm fighting these guns. Not only am I not able to make it full advantage of the 8.8 second reload, and he absolutely wrecks me on the reload, but he can't shoot for crap. Like, he is just not doing nearly enough damage to take me down. I am chunking him with this amazing Japanese HE. It may take longer to reload. We don't get a very good hit that time. And you can see we've got everything broken on our ship. But we've about got our smoke screen back. And if we can manage to hit this Benson a couple more times, we'll kill him. But we've gotten away with this without taking hardly any... never mind. Battleship just shot me. Battleship just shot me. We're smoking up because we're preparing on our last salvo to finish this Benson. Can we finish him off? Yes, we do finish him off, but we drift out of our smoke screen, didn't quite get it deployed early enough, or didn't slow down early enough, and then I had tried to to throw this thing in forward and get out of there using the propulsion mod, but you can see the dispersion was almost perfect. He got 2 shots right over the back of my ship, and then 1 just happened to catch the turret or the high side and take me out. So close to being able to clutch it. 119,000 damage though, high caliber. Top of the leaderboard, would have been a probably 3,000 or 3,200 XP, base XP game if we'd have won. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.